Building a home studio for remote recording can be a huge challenge, as it's tough to know where to start when it comes to sound treatment and what equipment you should use. In this video, we're going to tackle those challenges to show you exactly what you need to build your home studio for all budgets. A home studio is surprisingly easy to do and will be a long-term investment for upgrading the quality of your recordings. You'll have more confidence when recording knowing your studio is enabling you to stand out from the rest. No need to pay expensive rates for professional studios for set time periods. You can now record whenever you want in the comfort of your own home. Before we start ordering all of the fun equipment, you'll need to pick a room to build your studio in. If you've got one spare room, fantastic, you can go with that. But here are a few things to consider if you have a choice of rooms you want to build your studio or convert yours into. The ideal room won't have external walls joined to a neighbour's house, won't have any windows, no appliances such as boilers or radiators that might make frustrating noises, and it will also be carpeted for the best acoustics. Don't have a room that you can fully convert, maybe you only have a small space in a living room or an office. The tips in this video will still apply, just on a smaller scale. Sound treatment is the single most important aspect for your studio. No matter how good your microphone might be, if the room has a bunch of echo and isn't well treated, then it's not going to sound very good at all. Soundproofing will stop any unwanted sounds from coming into the room from outside. This is usually done with heavy, dense building material and sealing up any air gaps in your windows or doors, but this can get really expensive. Sound treatment, on the other hand, is improving the quality of sound in the room, controlling how much reverb and echo there is, keeping it to a minimum. Sound bounces off hard surfaces and absorbed by soft ones, so you want to avoid this bouncing around as much as possible. There are three elements to sound treatment: bass traps, absorption, and diffusers. Place the bass traps in the trihedral corners of your room, the acoustic panels across the dihedral corners and across the walls. Then, if you opt for diffusers, place them towards the ceiling or an upper part of the wall. As for budget, the more you spend, the better quality of the acoustic treatment. You could opt for the cheap foam panels that you'll see on Amazon for $30, but don't expect the same quality as if you bought these Auralex panels for around $300. Don't have the budget for acoustic treatment? Do as much as you can with soft furnishings in the room or what you have in your house. Think of pillows, blankets, clothes, mattresses. They can work just as well but might not look as good in your studio, which is something to consider if you're recording with video too. Now you have your room well treated, it's now on to the fun part, the gear we're going to fill the studio with. Let me run through some options for budget setups, mid-range and professional. You'll need a computer for recording all of your files, then for editing later on. The budget options are to 1, stick with what you have, or 2, the Asus VivoBook, which you can get for around $350. You could then get a MacBook Air or an Acer Aspire 5. Choose an editing software to work with your computer. The chances are you've already decided on one, and the type of computer you have might influence the software that is available for you to edit on. The budget options, you could get Audacity or GarageBand, both of which are free. The mid-range option is Reaper for around $60. The pro options are Logic Pro X for $300, Adobe Audition, which is a monthly subscription, or Avid Pro Tools, which is around $250. There are many options for choosing a microphone. You've got to choose between dynamic or condenser, XLR or USB, all of which have their pros and cons. You can look at this playlist for our content on microphones. If you cracked your sound treatment, go for a condenser mic. A dynamic mic might be a bit better if your studio still has some reverb or outside noise. If you want to connect directly to your computer, then go for a USB mic. If you want more control and higher quality, then get an XLR mic, for which you'll need an interface. On the budget range, we've got Audio-Technica ATR 2100X, which is a USB dynamic mic for around $80, or you could get an AKG P120 XLR condenser for $70. The mid-range, we've got a Rode Procaster dynamic microphone or the Rode NT USB condenser microphone. If you want to go pro, get the Shure SM7B dynamic or the AKG C414 condenser microphone between $400 and $600. We've made a whole video comparing audio interfaces and mixers and why you'd need either. For a studio setup, it's good to have a multi-input interface for your XLR microphones. The budget option, get the Behringer UMC 202 HD for $50. or you can get the Behringer 1002 mixer for around $70. In the mid-range, you can get the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 or the Evo 4 interface between $100 and $150. The pro option of the Focusrite Scarlett 12i20 interface for around $400, or you can get the Rode Rodecaster mixer for around $500. Headphones allow you to monitor your audio while also cancelling out background noise. Again, there are a ton of different options on the market and many things to consider. Comfort, closed or open back, sound isolation, frequency response, wired or wireless. If you're strapped for cash, use your existing headphones or earbuds. If not, you can get these Lynx Pro Has-10 for around $50. In the mid-range, you get the Sennheiser HD280 Pro or the Audio-Technica ATH M50X. If you want to go pro, get the DT770 Pro headphones or the Bose Quiet Comfort 35s. You'll need to make sure you have a good supply of XLR and USB cables to ensure you're not left unstuck if one fails or you have an extra guest in your studio. Avoid the Amazon Basics ones as they'll be low quality, but look out for these Mogami cables that are around $40 a go. However, any cable between $10 and $20 should work for you. As for different accessories and other bits of gear you might want to add to your studio, we've created a whole separate video that you can watch by clicking the link in the top right corner of this video. And just like that, you've got your very own home podcast studio set up. I'm confident that a home recording studio is a long-term and fail-safe investment for anyone that records high-quality content, meaning you're going to get studio quality every time. Have you started looking into a home studio for your recording yet? If you have, let us know the sort of equipment that you've been looking at or the progress that you've made so far. We're going to be producing a bunch more videos on this YouTube channel about podcasting, video interviews and more. So if you want to learn more about starting and growing your podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload. Thanks for watching.